This is the Logitech Lift, an ergonomic mouse with a unique design. Now, I'm not an expert in all the different types of mouses. This was the first time that I really sat down and did some research when I decided to upgrade my mouse. I mostly have experience with regular, cheaper mouses or just the trackpad on my Mac. But then in January 2024, I got the Logitech Pebble. Now, this was definitely an impulse buy. I didn't do any research. I just went into the store and got the first mouse that I saw that looked cute. And I just wanted something that was easy to use for light gaming on my Mac. And by gaming, I just mean playing Disney Dreamlight Valley. Also, before moving into this house, I never really had like a designated desk setup. But now, since we started living here and I have my own office, I decided to make some upgrades to my overall setup. So I got a stand for my laptop, I got really into mechanical keyboards, and I was just using the Logitech Pebble as my daily mouse. After using this setup for a while, I did realize that I was starting to get discomfort in my hand and my wrist when spending long periods of time working. I knew I needed to look into getting another mouse since the Pebble isn't really designed for ergonomics or long periods of use, and I actually knew this. It's more so for like a small compact option when you're on the go and you just want something that's easy to use, but I really wanted something that was gonna last me a while. So I did research and I was really in between the Logitech Lift and the Logitech MX Master, which are actually two really completely different mouses with different price points. But I ultimately, of course, decided on the Logitech Lift. Now, you might be wondering why, but I'll be getting into that when I cover all the features of the Lift. So, of course, what makes this mouse so unique is its vertical design. When you're using a regular mouse, you're kind of twisting your wrist to use the mouse, whereas the Lift was kind of designed to feel more natural and put less strain on your joints. So that was a big reason why I wanted to get the Lift. And I just saw a lot of great reviews from other creators that I follow just saying how comfortable it is to use and how much they love this mouse, and I can 100% agree. I haven't had any discomfort or wrist pain since starting to use the Logitech Lift. Also, I did get the Lift at the beginning of this year, so I have been using it for about like 7 months now. Also, surprisingly, the learning curve wasn't that bad. I think it took me like a day or two and then I was comfortable with it. So don't make the weirdness of the design deter you from looking into getting this mouse. Before I get more into all the features of the Lift, I do want to thank Keychron for sending over this beautiful mechanical keyboard that you're seeing me use in this video. This is not sponsored, they just sent it over for me to use and test out. But if you're looking to upgrade your desk setup, I highly recommend checking out Keychron's keyboards. They have an amazing selection. This is my second keyboard from them and I absolutely love it. Just like the Logitech Lift, this is also designed for ergonomics since it has the Alice layout, so it looks a bit weird, but it's designed to feel more natural and comfortable when typing. It has this beautiful double gasket design in an aluminum body. It is compatible with Windows and Mac, which is always amazing, and I just really love how integrated it is with Mac since that is a bit more rare when it comes to mechanical keyboards. You can also connect it in 3 different ways. You can either use it wired to your computer, you can use it using the 2.4 gigahertz adapter that's included, or you can just use it with Bluetooth, which is how I prefer to use it since I can then easily switch between all my different devices. This keyboard does have RGB, so you can play around with all the different lighting effects, and it does support VIA, so you can go ahead and play around with keybinds. It has some custom buttons at the side that you can also map to something else, and it just makes setting up the keyboard to work for your workflow really easy. Also, the switches that I have on here is the Gateron Jupiter Banana switches, so this is what the keyboard sounds like. So that is the Keychron Q10 Max keyboard. I've really enjoyed my time using it so far, so I just wanted to recommend that to you guys. Now, getting back to the Lift, when comparing this to the Logitech MX Master, there were of course a few things that made the MX Master seem like the better option. It is a more premium mouse. The scrolling wheels are just better quality and has a lot more features and settings that you can play around with. And of course, it has the horizontal scrolling wheel on the one side, which is what really made me consider getting this over the Logitech Lift. Since I do a lot of video editing and working in a horizontal timeline, I just thought it made sense to look into getting a mouse that has a horizontal scrolling wheel. But I really just couldn't get over the fact that I loved the ergonomic design of the Lift, And also, I do have smaller hands, so I knew that the Lift was a more small, compact option for me compared to the MX Master. Now, if you do have larger hands and you're still looking for that ergonomic design, there is an MX Vertical that I would recommend you check out. It is bigger and is a more premium mouse, but it also has the vertical design. Also, this might seem a bit dumb, but one thing that I really loved about the Lift was how silent the buttons were. I didn't really like the mechanical clicky sound of the MX Master, so that was another reason why I just preferred the Lift. So while doing my research, I did see that you can actually just use the shift button when scrolling, and that will turn it into a horizontal scroll. Or you can just use one of the side buttons that's on the mouse while scrolling, and that will basically act as the shift button and turn it into a horizontal scroll. This has honestly worked great for me, and I use this probably every single day when I'm doing my editing, and it just feels really natural. If you've been a user of a horizontal scrolling wheel on your mouse, maybe this might sound like a annoying thing you have to do to click a button to activate the horizontal scroll, but to me it just feels natural. I don't really think about it at all. Now, getting more to the design of the Logitech Lift, it does have 6 buttons. So you have your right click and left click, and a middle button which is used for DPI settings, and you have your scrolling wheel which can also act as a button when you press it. And then on the other side of the mouse we have our other 2 buttons which they call forward and backward, but you can edit this and program it to be whatever you want in the Logitech Options Plus app. So I do recommend, if you're getting the Logitech Lift mouse or any of Logitech's mouses, that you get this app. It just helps with the setup of the mouse and how you want to map the buttons to do whatever you want. You can also set up what these buttons do for individual apps. So for instance, in Final Cut Pro, I have it set up for certain tools that I often use in there, and the same for Photoshop. So that really helps with making sure that these work for you in whatever app you're using. You can also play around with DPI settings in the app, and like I already said, the middle button acts as a button that you can press to quickly change between different DPI speeds. I don't really ever use this, but it is an option for you if you like to play around with pointer speeds. You can set it between 400 to 4000 DPI. Like with a lot of Logitech's mice, you can pair this with up to 3 different devices and easily switch between the devices using the pairing button at the bottom of your mouse. You can either pair it using Bluetooth, which is what I primarily use, or you can use the USB adapter that is also stored in this little compartment and pair it that way. I just like Bluetooth because I'm only using my Apple devices. I can easily switch between my Mac and my iPad using the little pairing button. Now, I know this isn't super necessary because we do have universal control, which allows you to use your keyboard and mouse connected to your Mac with your iPad, but on the occasions that I'm not using them side by side and I just want to quickly pair to my iPad, then I can just use this little button at the bottom. I can imagine if you're a Windows and Mac user, this could be even more useful. And also, if you do have that set up, you can also use the Logitech Options Plus app to use Logitech Flow, which allows you to seamlessly switch between the different devices, even if it's from Mac to Windows. And you can even copy and paste files between your devices using Logitech Flow, which is really cool. So as you can probably tell, I absolutely love using this mouse, and for my workflow, I really don't have any complaints, but that doesn't make it the perfect mouse. And there are a few downsides which I will just talk about. So the first one being, it does work with a battery. It's not a chargeable mouse, which really sucks. The battery they do include in the box is said to last you up to 2 years. Obviously, I haven't been using it for that long, so I can't really attest to that, but also that highly depends on how often you use your mouse and how many hours you use it in a day. So I'm not sure if it's actually gonna last that long. So far, it's still holding up for me. 7 months in, I'm using it. I'm never turning it off and I'm always using it. But of course, a charging mouse is just more ideal and you don't have to worry about having to buy any batteries in the future. Something that I do have to point out is the material that it's made of. So one half is like a plastic material and the other is more of like a rubbery silicone material. And I really do love how it feels in my hand. It's really comfortable. However, it does stain, especially if you have the lighter version. So if you're getting this mouse, I recommend either getting the darker color option, so the black, or if you have a lighter option like the white or the pink, I highly recommend cleaning it almost every day, maybe every second day, wiping it down. Otherwise, it will tend to stain, and if you just leave it until a later time, then getting rid of that stain is going to be really, really hard. Especially also if you're wearing any foundation. During the day, I tend to maybe like touch my face or just rest with my head on my hand, and that obviously gets makeup on my hand, so when I touch the mouse it does stain it. So that is just something I definitely recommend you keep in mind. I do love the look of my mouse and I'm really trying to keep it clean, but yeah, once you stain it, it's just really, really hard to get any of that out. So I highly recommend keeping up with the cleaning of the mouse every day, every second day, or just getting the darker color. Also, for my left-handed people out there, there is a left-handed version of this mouse available. It is only available in the one color option, which is black, but it is available if you're looking for that. So overall, my experience with this mouse has been really great. If you are someone who is working from home or you just want a more ergonomic mouse setup, then I highly recommend getting the Logitech Lift. My work consists of long periods of time editing videos, designing in Photoshop and Illustrator, or just regular like admin, research, task stuff. And I really don't feel like there's anything that I'm missing out on when I'm using this mouse for all of those daily tasks. So yeah, I've been wanting to make this review for a while just to share with you if you're interested in looking into getting this mouse as well. I know it is an older mouse. It's been out for a few years now, but I just wanted to share my experience. If you were curious or you were looking into just getting a mouse for yourself, then I just wanted to share my thoughts and opinions. But okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments and I will definitely get to them. But I appreciate you and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.